face it, it's as hard to find as a black nano on a black lamppost. Make sure to hit subscribe and hit that notification button so you don't miss a single episode. Hey y'all, how you doing? How's your day going? John Broyles, the Cache and Cub Master here. And what we're actually trying to do is we're trying to place a real Terrain 1 cache. And it's not easy, believe it or not. Now, according to the guidelines that Groundspeak put out, a Terrain 1, basically on a flat level surface, easy for a wheelchair to get to. And a lot, if not all, Terrain 1 caches have the wheelchair attribute. Otherwise, you'd be better off making it a 1.5. The thing is, depending on where you're at, depending on your area, finding what could constitute a T1 is a lot harder than it looks. So what we're doing, we're bypassing one cache, which I've already found, and we're heading about 700 feet the opposite away from it, because I believe there's a little area to where I could place a T1. Now, for a T1, there are a couple ways to figure out that it's actually a Terrain 1. What I'm using for my basis is a little thing from a site called Handy Caching. Now, Handy Caching rates a cache on 5 different areas. On the terrain, well, the surface, the distance from the parking, from the closest parking spot, the slope, how far you have to reach to get it, the height, and also the kind of surface. Did I say surface? Haha. Excuse me while I pull these out. Yeah, the height. Oh, and any obstructions going to and from the cache. So right now I'm on a nice, even, paved trail, which is, that knocks out one of them. No obstructions, except for muggle bikers. That knocks out 2 of them. Let's see, the distance to cache. Well, we'll check when we get to the almost ground zero, and we'll see if that's within 500 feet. And we're definitely going to make sure it's within the height guidelines. So, I think we're out here. I'm going to check my map in Cachely real quick, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, now I'm at where I wanted ground zero to be for this particular cache. You happen to look off to my left, you're right. Yeah, that's not very wheelchair cacher conducive, especially because there's gravel right here on the ground. You could actually come off a trail. Now, to make it basically a T1, I say it has to be less than a half a mile from the parking area. Paved and flat, wheelchair accessible. That's according to the guidelines. Now, the 5 little things that I pointed out actually help to make sure it's within the guidelines. An optimal cache for, whoops, there it is. For a wheelchair, according to handycaching.com, is about yay high off the ground. Between 2 to 3 feet off the ground to where somebody sitting in a wheelchair can easily grab it. Now, 0 to 3 feet, yeah, that would work too, but it's very hard for people to reach down and actually grab something off the ground while they're in a wheelchair. Now, if it was an ammo can, possibly, but I don't have a can with me, so I'm just doing what I have. The slope for where I'm putting this is flat because it's on a bike trail. It's a paved surface, and like I said, I'm trying to get 500 feet from the nearest parking area, which I don't think that's going to happen either. So, judging from everything I've done so far, this is not going to be a good place for a T1 cache. I need to find someplace better. Got a couple other areas I could check. I'll be back. Alrighty. Now that I found a location suitable, very suitable for this cache, and permission has already been granted, let's make sure it applies to the 5 things to make it a true T1. Let's start off with distance from the cache to the nearest parking. Here's Cub Cacher 1. There we go. It's way less than 500 feet, so there's a 1 there. The route surface, it's paved. Well, it's concrete, smooth. It's a sidewalk, parking lot, concrete. It's a 1, so there's 2. The slope, it's flat. Oh yeah, it's flat. It is. I set a ball on here and it will not go. It's flat. There's 3 of the picket fence. Any obstructions? No obstructions. Maybe during the winter it'd be some snow, but that's 4. Now, the ultimate. Let's get out our handy dandy tape measure. Seems I'm at ground 0. Oh yeah. A person in a wheelchair will easily be able to get this cache. At 5. Guess what? We have a T1 cache, y'all. We have a T1 cache. We're good to go. Now, we'll go and we'll put it in, submit it. Now, just to let you know, it also depends on the reviewer. It depends on the reviewer, how they interpret the guidelines, and how you interpret the guidelines. If you follow the guidelines, you'll never go wrong. And then, always, make sure you get permission. Now, like I said, I used handycacher.com to come up with the scale to where we just got a picket fence, all 1s. So this one, if you, in the cache description, and right there, it'll show you that this cache is an H11111. It is wheelchair accessible. Remember, for a terrain 1, it has to be a wheelchair accessible. Otherwise, you may want to go with a terrain 1.5. So that is all I have on here. Let me know if you have went through and did everything you can to hide a true terrain 1 cache. Let me know down in the description. Yes, this is a featured cache, but it hasn't been published yet. So that's why there's nothing down there. Yet. So there we go. We have a T1, and this will probably end up being a D1.5. If you happen to like what you see, learned a little something, and maybe want to put out your own T1, go ahead and hit that like button. If you think I'm ugly and Mama Shelly dresses me funny, hit that dislike button. And as always, smash on that subscribe button and ding that little bell right next to it so you never miss a single thing that I pull out of my hat. Until next time, I'm John Broyles, the Cache and Cub Master. It's been another edition of DNF Magazine. Let's go find some T1s, and we'll see you on the trails.